everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice. And we put out board game related content every single Friday, so if that's something you'd like to see, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yes, and we've got a first look review and preview of the Arts and Architecture expansion for the hit 2019 game Tapestry by Stonemaier Games.
Now, this is the second expansion to come out for Tapestry. The first one was Plans and Ploys. And in today's video, we're going to be making comparisons just on the two new expansions. If you want to see a review of the full base game, we have done that on our channel, which you can go watch up here. But let's go ahead and dive into this video.
In Arts and Architecture, your civilization enters the Renaissance, where you can focus on a fifth track, the Arts track. Now, primarily centered around boosting income, you'll create masterpieces to gain a new source of points, resources, and actions. You'll have inspirations, permanently upgrading your income tracks, and gain 3 new landmarks from the Arts track. Now, playing off the Plans and Ploys expansion, you also get 5 new landmark cards, which gives each player a personal landmark that only they can achieve by completing the requirements on the card. Now, while Plans and Ploys introduce 10 new civilizations to the game, the Arts and Architecture expansion brings 5 more civilizations, each bringing 5 new asymmetric ways to play the game, like the Renegades, who are paving their own 6th track, or the Urban Planners, letting you save your landmark buildings and placing them onto your capital city at a later time to optimize your design. New to Tapestry are the 6 advanced capital city mats, giving you new challenges and new ways to play, like the Archipelago, where you complete islands instead of districts, or the Caverns, where you must start at the top districts and build your way down, only entering the districts below once you've built all the way in the districts above. In this expansion, you also gain 20 new Tapestry cards, 11 new tech cards, and a D20 for the Arts track to add that into the science die.
So a lot going on here, so let's unpack that a little. First, I want to talk about the art. The art is absolutely gorgeous in this expansion,
yeah.
Same as it was in the base game. Andrew Bosley did a fantastic job. And fun fact, I just learned from Jonathan, the miniatures in this game, they are done by Ron Brown, and they were actually like made out of clay and were sent over to the manufacturers, and that's how they created them.
Yeah, so, and they cast them into the plastic minis.
Yeah, so that definitely made me appreciate that even more so. You're adding a lot more variety to the game with that new arts track, and I really think that helps build a better engine. So I'm a big fan of the arts track because I come from an arts background, so I'm really happy to see that on the board. What I noticed when we play the game, the base game, if you have a higher player count, lots of the times there's like not enough stuff for everyone to do. Like someone will not get some of those landmark pieces. But with that added 5th track, you're going to be able to balance that out, and more people have more chances.
Like in a 4 or 5 player game, you feel like you're always behind in the tracks.
Yeah.
Big change in this expansion is the new capital city mats. So before, everybody had like the same grid, you just had different random obstacles. But now you actually have these challenges. We talked about the caverns, and the caverns are my absolute favorite, but there's so many different ways to place your cities now, and they actually, like, some of them don't let you build outside the mat, so it gets really hard to place those. Now, because you have these different capital cities, and there's also so many different ways to get landmarks now with your personal landmark and all that, they gave you new ways to use your landmarks. So there are cards that actually you can put on your Tapestry card, you can put landmarks, and then there are tech cards that can only upgrade by putting landmarks on them. So there's these really cool other ways to use landmarks now. All right, now our opinion of this expansion is generally very positive. We really like it, but this game does suffer from some of the same criticisms we had of the base game, which is that the theming feels a little bit weak. Specifically with the civilizations, there was the resilient civilization, which has to have probably like the coolest mechanic out of any civilization. You have to build a building every single round, and the more rounds you can do that, you cash in a ton of points and a new action. It's like my absolute favorite civilization. But the theming, you're a resilient civilization. It shows a runner as like a whole civilization of runners. That's your civilization. It doesn't feel like a civilization. It doesn't feel very themed.
I kind of felt that with the other civilizations in this expansion as well. Like there's the gamblers, which has a really cool mechanic. But like an entire city of gamblers, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, before you had like aliens and like war, like all these really cool ones.
As far as the arts track goes, like the things that you achieve as you go up, they, as coming from, like, we're both in the arts, it didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, what was it? You went up to, like, you achieved, like...
Flash mob.
Flash mob was, like, we've reached, like, art culture. Like that didn't really make a lot of sense. But the masterpiece cards, which are new to this game, those were very well themed in the arts. Like you can get like ballet and calligraphy, and I really enjoyed picking those, and I sometimes would prioritize the arts track just because I really enjoyed getting these items. They didn't always help me in like the scoring point aspect, but I had a good time.
Yeah, going off the arts track, the masterpiece cards, those become part of your income. So when you go to gain all of your resources again, those are giving you resources. They're also giving you actions. I had one that gave me a conquer action, so I could start like conquering and conquering, which I thought was really cool. But also the inspiration tiles, I think, were probably the biggest game changer. It's so when you upgrade by pulling all those income buildings off and you start to gain more, you can actually upgrade those tracks so that you get more for them, which I think that's the perfect example of what should be in an expansion. You're really like leaning into the things that already exist and making people want to do them more. So it made me want to go upgrade my buildings more because then I got the beefed up tracks, which were great.
Yeah, and I like that when you got to like little huts, like they were wild on the art track, so you could use them for like any of the tracks.
That's true.
Yeah, I really like that.
You could get any of the 4 different colored huts from going down that track.
A lot of the models are actually inspired by Stonemaier Games, so you'll be able to see
all of them.
All of them. It's all like little hints and little Easter eggs, like pretty obvious Easter eggs.
The pendulum throne with the...
it's like, they're like viticulture, wingspan, like literally all the other games are in this game. And I noticed Stonemaier Games has been doing that like a lot lately. Like a couple months ago with the release of Rolling Realms, they were doing the same thing. It's really like catering to fans in like the Stonemaier universe. So we talked a lot about arts and architecture, but there was that previous expansion, Plans and Ploys. So if you were going to recommend one, why?
Oh, okay. It's really hard. I would say the arts and architecture expansion has got to be the one that you get. And the reason for that is that it is a more well-rounded expansion. You get a new track, you get new civilizations. The civilization mats that you're building on for your capital city, that's like crucial, key, brand new thing that really changes up the game. The inspiration tiles, you get just so many different new things. The tapestry cards that you got from that. So before, if you go to attack somebody, there was a chance that they had a trap card. And it was really repetitive because like, do they have a trap? Oh, they have a trap. But with Plans and Ploys, they added in like 5, 6, 7 different types of traps. So there was like a surrender or a retreat that they got bonuses just to like back off. And then all these other like really cool, there was a counter to the trap where you actually trap them then and then they get toppled instead, which I just thought that was such a cool mechanic and really changed up the combat on the actual board itself. So do I think that you should own both? If you already own one and you really like it, you should get both expansions. I think they're really cool. One pet peeve that I have with the expansions is, I noticed this the second we got it, Plans and Ploys is spelled A-N-D, and Arts and Architecture has an ampersand instead. I get that they did it so that it would fit in the same text font size and it would fit on the board, but I wouldn't have done it. I would have kept A-N-D.
OCD. Perfectionist.
Does that bother anyone else?
Him.
It bothers me. Tapestry was already a game that I really, really liked. And I think the Arts and Architecture expansion did a really good job of introducing new mechanics without really like making it too much. It was like they leaned on the things that already existed and made them better.
My thoughts about Tapestry, I think I say this when we covered the original base game. It is, to be honest, it's not one of my favorite Stonemaier games. It's probably my least favorite Stonemaier game, which is unfortunate because I love them so much. It's not my style. However, I will say that Arts and Architecture really made me enjoy the game a lot more because that theming was there for me, and I found it a lot more interesting to try and get rock opera than to like get duct tape. All right, everyone, and that is our review of the new expansion to Tapestry, Arts and Architecture. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. I'll put a link down below to the Stonemaier Games website so you can get on a pre-order for this game, as will be coming up in the next couple weeks, next couple months. And thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!